If you find yourself stuck in the almost relationship that actually never goes anywhere, then here I am to share with you how I broke that cycle myself so you can collapse time and be as happy and grateful for it as I am today. Because, yes, it is happening for you. Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome to my love diary, my reflections on love and dating as a young lady with an old school heart, becoming a wife in the 21st century. So, what is a something? I heard that term 3 years ago, and I was so happy to hear that there's actually a word for what I've experienced, and actually other people go through the same thing. Here's how it looked like for me. My whole teenage years, so like from 14 to 20, I liked guys. Obviously, not every guy, but I guess like 3 in total. And I could tell that they like me too. You know, those smiles, the look in the eyes, and they always wanted to be close to me, so I could just tell that they liked me. And for whatever reason, life really threw us together. So with one guy at school, for example, suddenly we would play a married couple in one of the group works we had to do. With another guy, I was just meeting him randomly on the streets. So it was really like the universe bringing us together. So I thought, okay, there must be something, right? However, long story short, it didn't really went anywhere. So I could tell they liked me, I liked them too, but none of us really made a move. And I tried to be open and available, but I never actually pursued whatever that was. And I am more traditional. I don't like to be the one asking a guy out. I tried a few times and never really felt good to me, and I was never actually landing the relationship with him, so this is not for me. If you're the same like me, you know, right? You get that. I feel like it's so hard to explain it because you're not really talking, but there's something pulling you towards each other. And it's so hard to explain it to other people because some of my friends were like, well, maybe he's just being nice to you and he's not really into you. But you know that he is into you, right? And we can't really explain that to someone else. So I get you, and hopefully you get me. So that was my whole dating experience back in high school and early years of college. So, how did I break that cycle? The last something I had was 3 years ago, and I was able to break free from that pattern right after I turned 20. So that was very interesting to me. I opened a new decade, so I don't know, maybe it's a different life topic or something like that. It was very interesting to me. Okay, back to the point. So that guy was living in my village, and we went through the same college. So we would see each other in the uni and randomly on the streets in my hometown. And at first I wasn't really interested, but I could tell that he likes me. And as I said, we would always like kind of meet each other in the streets, and I felt that was very magical. I also had this very intense feeling in my heart, like I always knew when I'm going to meet him. Maybe this happened to you too. You just know, like there's this feeling in your heart, it almost feels like this magnet, and we're like pulled together. That was insane. I've never experienced it in that intensity. So I thought, okay, like this must be the one, right? He will be the one that breaks that spell so I can finally be in a relationship with a guy that actually likes me. Little did I know. I did break the cycle, but it was different from what you might expect. So, months passed by, and there was this point where I would only see him once a month. And my head, like the thoughts in my head, I was just overthinking so much and thinking about him, but he was so busy and we would barely see each other. It was also pandemic time, so I was a little lonely. And I had those questions in my head. And I want you to ask yourself that too. How have you been feeling with that guy being in your life? And I know he did not do anything wrong, he's a nice guy and you like him. But seriously, the last couple of weeks and months, have you been at ease and peace? I don't think so. Have you been overthinking, being anxious, hoping that finally we'll go somewhere? I asked myself those questions. And for the first time, I really honored how I actually felt and not how I thought I should feel. Because I was still in my head thinking about, well, but when we're in a relationship, it will all work out, right? He has to break that spell. That's why life brought us together. Okay, what if that never happens? What if you will never be in a relationship with that guy? Is it really worth it? I realized I've been feeling like crap for months. As I told you, I was overthinking and in my head all the time, so I was actually not in a good place because of him. And just that realization? I don't know. English is not my first language. I try my best. Something within me shifted. And then there was this one summer day after my 20th birthday. I was hugging the sun, and then I actually saw him after months of not seeing him passing by like in the streets, and we would usually, right, come together and talk. So I was on the other side of the street. I was trying to get to him, he was trying to get to me, and then something interesting happened. I just walked away. And I was like, what is happening? That was not my intention. It was literally my feet just taking me to another place. And I was like, what's going on? This is weird. It felt like this teenage movie where I was walking, he was walking right behind me for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes down like the hill. It was just, and I thought to myself, well, can't I just stop and say sorry? I don't know what's going on with me. But for whatever reason, my feet would keep moving until always quite literally split. And when I wasn't able to go back anymore, suddenly I felt so light. Like a child. It was insane. So obviously I was second guessing my decision. I was like, what was going on? Now he thinks that you're mean, or I don't know. I was like, what is he thinking now about me? But I felt so relieved. So I just knew it happened for me, and that was the right decision. So I don't really know what happened, but something within me shifted and I chose myself instead of the outcome that I'm expecting. And I learned a lot about some things and my behavior after I broke free from that cycle. So that was how I broke free from it. I don't know if you can do it the same. I think it was just a lesson I needed to learn because I was actually very afraid to lose myself in a relationship. You know, I have all those passions like playing the piano, singing, and I was very afraid that I would prioritize him and the relationship over my own well-being and my passions. I'm just a very loving person, and I know it doesn't really make sense, but that fear was very present in me. But that moment, I broke free from that fear too, because there was still a chance for us to become a couple. But I chose my well-being instead of the potential relationship we could have. Even though I was so invested in that relationship, like I've been fantasizing about this relationship for almost a year. So that was a lot of energetic investment, and still I chose me. And I was so happy that he allowed me to have this experience. Because I think with the right one, with the one I'm going to spend my life with, if I'd had that fear, I would sabotage the relationship probably. And yes, I believe when you're really meant to be with each other, you will always find a way back. But why make it that complicated? So he was actually the one that allowed me to be the woman who walked away. I actually wrote a song about that. Maybe I should upload it. Actually, I wrote 2 songs about that moment where I was like walking downhill and him behind me, and how he made me the woman who walked away. Maybe I can share that with you too. Kind of connect those both series with each other. However, here's what I learned. You are choosing this. Yep. You are choosing to engage in some things that never lead anywhere. Here's what happened to me. In the first few weeks after I broke free from that cycle, I could literally like feel it in my whole body how a cycle ended. There were 2 guys in college, and I could tell that they like me. And for a moment, for a few seconds, I would react like I always did. It's almost like, I don't know, you have like your keys always in that, one place, and then you, I don't know, reorganized your floor or whatever, your room, and now you actually have a different place for your keys. But in the beginning, you want to lay it where it always was. But then you're like, wait, no, there. It's a new place. So this is kind of how I felt. So in the first few seconds, I was like interested, and then something clicked in, and I'm like, wait, is this how I've been reacting all the time? Oh my god! I was choosing guys that, yes, liked me. I'm sure they liked me. But who never planned to make a move on me for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't feel like they're a good match for me. Maybe they were too shy, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I was consciously choosing those guys. And it was so interesting to me because maybe you've heard that too. The external is always a mirror of your internal. And when you want different results in the external, you first have to change something within. It makes sense, right? I always thought, well, that makes perfectly sense, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what's going on. And after I broke that cycle, I would see the patterns and what I did to actually play along with it. And that was just mind-blowing. And the new thought I had after like those first seconds, I was like, wait, if he really likes you, there will be a way to get to know each other. He will make an effort to talk to you because I am here. I talk to other people too. We can talk, but if they're not even making a move, then there's a reason for that. And I don't need to know. But a man that really likes me, likes you, will find a way to come closer to you as long as you're open for it. So that was a completely new thought I had. So I can pretty much guarantee you're choosing this. Why are you choosing this? That was the next thing that I learned from it. You have a different love story. And you can't really see it yet. But actually, your desires are so big. You're not too much. You just need a different path of preparation. And you've been protected all those years. I know in hindsight that I didn't really know what I wanted back then. I didn't know that I wanted marriage. I thought marriage is weird for most of my life. That changed after I turned 20. But I didn't know really what I wanted. And I just learned a different way. And I guess you too. That's why you found that video. I've learned a lot from them without ever being in a relationship. Because if I'd been in a relationship with them, the only thing I believe that would have happened is we would have broken up 100%. And my young, very pure, loving soul, I knew that I would have thought that I was the problem, when in fact, high school boys, right? You're just not in the season, or actually weren't a good match. But I'm just such a long-term for life person, what I didn't know back then. I think if I'd broken up with someone, it would have taken me years to actually recover from that. So I was definitely protected, and it also allowed me to have all this time and space for myself and for my passions, and to embrace that season. So I see a lot of benefits from not dating at high school, and yeah, maybe I can make a video about that, because I actually believe that it's a flex that I've never been in a relationship. I know this is not common sense, but you're different, you get me. Maybe you don't know it yet, but I will show you. So maybe that will be the next episode. We will see. So, why did I tell you all of this? There's a reason why things happen the way they do. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and you got this. You have a different, extraordinary love story. You need a different preparation. It's all happening for you. I know that you know that. And I just wanted to share my story with you so you can have that in the back of your head. Because you're amazing. And there are so many guys that really like you. They're just not allowed to be that close to you. And everything you desire, that's just this divine nudge. Everything you feel in your heart, it is meant for you, and it will make sense at a certain time. So stop comparing yourself to others. They have their own way, you have yours, and we're in this together. So always remember, fairy tales need role models too. So why not us?